Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Luis, and God bless every single one of you. Today is February 27, 2024, and welcome to the Grand Prix News Channel. Alright guys, so we have some breaking news, updates, some very important information coming out. If you can, please share this video. And it says here, the Sleeping Giant said Tuesday, February 27, 2024, that the Sleeping Giant will not send soldiers to fight in the yellow and blue, after Emmanuel refused to rule out the dispatch of Western forces. Alright, so the Sleeping Giants are not sending camouflage. They're not sending the Sleeping Giant soldiers. But we have breaking news that came out not too long ago. And I just posted a video, a very important video, if you guys missed it. There was a dire warning message from the Sleeping Giant leader. There was a very important meeting today. You had the Sleeping Giant leader, Joe. You had the VP. You had Mr. Mike, the speaker. And then you have other people in a round table. And the Sleeping Giant leader has put out a warning saying that you must pass this bill. But we have breaking news. Mr. Mike told reporters at the Sleeping Giant that lawmakers were actively pursuing options on a multi-billion spending, including the yellow and blue, but added, the first priority of the Sleeping Giant is our southern region. Before I start, guys, give this video a big thumbs up. Share this video with your friends, families, and loved ones. I appreciate the love and support. And for those of you that want to contribute to the channel, once again, the PayPal link and the Patreon link is in the description box. Also, guys, $1 a month Patreon. We get you access to our live stream every Sunday. We talk about things that we cannot talk about on the platform. Also, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comments box. And for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, Luis Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Alright, so you guys already know this. You had the Sleeping Giant leader, Joe, and then you had other people saying if the bill's not passed, we have no other choice than to send Sleeping Giant soldiers into the yellow and blue country. That's what he said. Guys, they said it numerous times. They've been saying that. If we can't get the 60 billion for the yellow and blue, we have to send Sleeping Giant soldiers. That's what they said. Numerous times. But today, they had a change of heart. The Sleeping Giant would not send soldiers to fight in the yellow and blue. So you have 1 month they say something, the next month is another thing. Too many change of hearts going on here. Alright, so we're going to see what's going on, guys, in this one here. But if you missed my video, or there's a possibility I haven't posted the video yet, it might be after this one here. But a very, very important message came out from the Sleeping Giant leader, telling Mike, I'm putting you on a warning. We need this. Ching ching. And they were at the White House, the round meeting table. They were trying to figure out how to agree in the 61 billion, but it seems like it didn't work out. Chuck, again, you guys already know Chuck Schumer. Again, I'm not saying his last name, but he came out. He was not pleased. He was not pleased. He was like, man, I've never seen anything like this ever in our life. We're going to lose the biblical war because of Mike. We about to lose the Sleeping Giant if you guys don't fix that Southern. Man. So Chuck came out. He was not pleased. He was just, he was like, man, we're going to lose. We're going to lose the biblical war. We're going to lose allies. We're going to lose this and that. I'm like, man, we about to lose a Sleeping Giant if you don't take care of the Sleeping Giant first. We're going to lose everyone. We're going to lose everyone because of Mike. Mike is being very mean. Mike is like, look, All you got to do is just fix the Southern. Fix him. All this time, you guys been yapping and not doing it. By now, that thing would have been fixed, and you guys would have gotten your money. But the more that you guys don't, delay the, the construction, you guys ain't gonna get that money. The Sleeping Giant will not be sending soldiers to fight in the Yellow and Blue, the WH said Tuesday, following remarks by Emmanuel, who considers sending his camouflage to help the Yellow and Blue capital amid the biblical war with the bear. This goes to tell you that the bear is winning. Again, it's common sense. The bear is winning. Now you have certain lands saying, we're going to go in. We're going to go in. We are going to go in. It's like they're too scared to go in. It's like us when we were young ones, young kids, had to have the community pool. We just, used to put our feet in the water to see if it's cold. We were scared to go in. Until that one person came out of nowhere, cannonball, boom, and splashed everyone. All right. So it says here, you have Mr. Burns has been clear that the Sleeping Giant will not send Sleeping Giant soldiers to fight in the Yellow and Blue. National Security said in a statement, once again, the leader of the Sleeping Giant has been very clear that the Sleeping Giant will not send Sleeping Giant soldiers to fight in the Yellow and Blue. All right? So remember that. They said it, not me. But, again, just like I mentioned in my other video, I truly apologize, guys. It seems like it's kind of buffering a little bit. But just like I mentioned in my last video, that, these people say one thing, and then the next day it's another. So, what's good is bad, what's bad is good. We're not going to send Sleeping Giant soldiers, and then a month later, we're sending Sleeping Giant soldiers. You have the State D spokesperson, Matthew, ask whether the Sleeping Giant could send Sleeping Giant soldiers for other purposes, such as training. Said Mr. Byrne administration opposed any deployment to the Yellow and Blue country. Let me just... Here's the thing. Sometimes they're really, really slick. We're not going to send them there in the Yellow and Blue country, but we are going to send them there so they could help move stuff around. But in reality, they're going to send them there for great biblical war. We are not sending boots on the ground in the Yellow and Blue. The Sleeping Giant leader been very clear. Both the WH and the State D said the priority was for the Kongs to approve new aid to the Yellow and Blue. Fundamentally, we think that the path to victory for the Yellow and Blue right now is in the Sleeping Giant house. They really, really, really are in need of that $61 billion. The problem is Mike is holding on to that money. We're not going to do it. Yeah, but we're going to lose the biblical war. We're going to lose allies. We're not going to do it. Fix the Southern first. Fix the Sleeping Giant first. And then maybe we could talk about... that 61 billion. Give me a second here, guys. Jeez, I got to get out of this article ASAP. It's like WW3 here going on. All right, give me a second here. So both the WH and the State D said that the priority was for the Kongs to approve new aid to the Yellow and Blue. Fundamentally, we think that the path to victory for the Yellow and Blue right now is in the Sleeping Giant house. Once again, Mr. Mike, an ally, a former 4-5, and head of the razor-thin right majority, has refused to allow a VOTE on Mr. Byrne request for about $60 billion for the Yellow and Blue. So they're very furious. When I say they, those that want the money, they are really, really not pleased. And they are looking at Mike. But in reality, they are saying, hey, 4-5, you're the one who's doing this. We know that you're calling Mike. We know that you're telling Mike not to do it. So 4-5, you need to mind your own business. 4-5 is like, I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. You guys trying to take all my ching ching. You guys are trying to take my properties. The 4-5 is standing in their way. That's what it is, guys. It says here the sleeping giant, Mr. Mike, says a sudden reform still priority over the yellow and blue aid. So again, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, there is a very important meeting going on, and you have very important people, including the sleeping giant leader. Everybody's in that that meeting. I could just imagine a lot of yelling back and forth behind closed doors. And trust me, guys, there is some yelling going on. They ain't, you want some cappuccino? You want a little cracker? They're like, Mike, we need that green. We need that now. You keep playing with us. You're going to end up just like the 4-5. He's in courts. You want to be in courts too? So the sleeping giant, Mr. Mike, insisted Tuesday that his right control chamber would not move on aid for the yellow and blue without the, you know what, reform. As high stakes talks with Mr. Burns ended without a deal. There you go. It ended without a deal. Man, that yellow and blue right now, they are crying. Mike is like, nah, sorry, man. No deal. No deal. Mr. Mike told reporters at the Sleeping Giant WH that lawmakers were actively pursuing option on a multi-billion package, including the yellow and blue aid, all right? But added, the first priority of the Sleeping Giant, our land, is our southern with Mexico. So he's basically saying, I'm willing to work with the package of the yellow and blue, but we need to focus first on the Sleeping Giant. We need that multi-billion package to seal the Sleeping Giant. We need to close the doors, and we need to take care of the Sleeping Giant first. And then from there, we are willing to help the yellow and blue. So he's not denying the yellow and blue. He's denying that those in the spotlight are rushing for the money and not helping Sleeping Giant, but leaving the Sleeping Giant behind. Leaving the Sleeping Giant behind and trying to get the yellow and blue first. Big shout out to Mike, though. At least Mike is willing to work for the yellow and blue and say, hey, I got them. You know, I'm not denying their money. I'm just, again, my job as a Sleeping Giant, we took an oath. Sleeping Giant comes first. We need to seal it. The problem is you have the Looney Tunes out there, and they are not very, very pleased. They don't want to help the Sleeping Giant, put it like that. Give me a second here, guys. So this is what Mr. Chuck said. We have got to do the yellow and blue now. There are other issues, like the Southern, that would address, but not now. Chuck is like, look, we know that there is stuff going on at the Southern, but right now, we cannot deal with that. That's not the priority. So he's admitting that there are some stuff going on at the Southern, but we cannot figure that. We cannot deal with that. We cannot focus on that now. We need to help the yellow and blue. We would lose allies. We would lose the biblical war. The bear leader would be winner. We cannot allow that to happen. So basically, the Sleeping Giant are last. There you go. If you want to continue going for Mr. Burns, just remember, you will be last. Now, Mr. Burns is going to come out and say Sleeping Giant comes first. He's going to be saying that throughout the entire rest of 2024 because of, again, November event. So he's going to be like, Sleeping Giant comes first. But again, you guys already know all this stuff going on. They want the yellow and blue to come first and the Sleeping Giant to come last. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Once again, for those of you that want to give a life to Christ, you can email me. My email is in the description box. Me and my wife are here to help many and to lead many to the righteous path. And that's the path of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. For those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, Luis Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Once again, guys, $1 a month Patreon. We get you access to our live stream every Sunday. We talk about things that we cannot talk about on a platform. Also, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Put your faith and trust in Jesus Christ, for he's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father but through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.